What's in the closet hour?
Mwahaha! We're back with another episode of Podcast of Horrors. Mwahaha! This is part 2 of our Halloween special, our spooktacular in the closet.
Yeah, we pretty much ended last time talking about the Halloween party and the after effects of the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is new for us. This is our first time to ever do a two-parter, so I guess we just jump right into Uber Update.
Well, it's kind of like how last week we kind of just jumped right out of the episode. I apologize for it kind of ending abruptly like that, but I actually, in the moment, sprung on Stephanie, well, let's just break this apart. We never planned for it to be a two-parter,
No.
But I started noticing how long the episode was going, and I thought, why not? We haven't got to the segments yet, so we'll just make the segments like you just got the cheese of the sandwich, now you're getting the meat of the sandwich, or the meat of the show, which is...
We're your leftover candy.
Yeah, but
so.
To make it more horrifying, it's human meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're leftover human meat from Halloween night. Is that what you're saying? Because that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Hashtag you're a cannibal.
No, we're just your leftover candy.
Okay, I guess that's better.
Okay,
we're meat in a wrapper.
Ew. That sounds, it sounds like something you'd buy at the grocery store.
Yeah, that's how you buy meat.
I know, but anyways.
And before we jump into the first
talk.
segment, I do want to say two quick things. There's a lot of cool things that's happened to us in this week, but we're going to catch you all up on that next week when it's not the Halloween special. And the other thing is, just before we started recording, I kicked Stephanie's ass in a pillow fight.
No, hell no. I kicked his ass in a pillow fight.
If there was judges counting the hits, the landed punches...
I would have won. He's just a sore loser.
And the punches in general, you threw the most punches. But I absolutely landed the most hits.
Bullshit.
Also, I'm not punching my future wife. We're having a pillow fight.
Yeah, we decided that we want to get sock and boppers and, like, marshmallow suits and just go at it. Not let out, like, frustrations we have on each other, but, you know, that could help. But, like, frustrations we just have in life. You know?
By marshmallow suits, she means like the sumo suits.
I want s'mores now.
Okay.
Will you get s'more stuff after we're done recording?
I'm not committing to anything yet.
Look, we can even go like this with the lighter and even burn our marshmallows.
Let me just remind you what's currently going on.
No, don't play it, don't play it, don't play it, don't play it, don't play it.
Okay, I stopped playing it.
See, he is so mean to me. He knows how scared I am of tornadoes.
Well, obviously you're not that scared if you've already forgotten that we're currently going through terrible weather. No,
it's just a tornado watch. I just don't like that sound, and I don't like the sound of Amber Alerts either. They're scary.
Yeah.
They're very scary.
Perfect for a Halloween episode. Very scary.
Don't do that.
And I told her, she's in the perfect place. We should be sitting in the closet, because if there's a tornado that's going to strike, this is the place to be.
I know, but it freaks me out because I can't see what's going on. So I'm like, because I'm one of those tornado people where I'm like, is it coming? Is it coming? Is it coming? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're going to do something to protect yourself, that's generally the case. You go in an area that's blocked off.
I know where the safe spots are. You don't have to talk to me about that. And
anyway.
in the bathtub, put the mattress on top of you.
Oh, yeah.
Or in the hallway, mattress on top of you.
Been there, done that.
What scares me so much about, I have a confession for later, but as far as the whole tornado thing, the worst experience I ever had was there was a tornado in eyeshot from my house in Euless. And it was me, my mom.
I think we talked about this in an episode.
Well, like, the window started shaking. The door,
the windows sharded.
The window sharded.
You sharded. The window shaked.
The window started shaking. The door started shaking. Like, everything was moving. The lights were flickering. And they went off. We had the mattresses on our head. We had the dogs all locked up in one room.
Wow.
I mean, like, terrified, and I hate being in a sense of panic. So ever since then,
you put yourself in a sense of panic.
Ever since then, that's what happens when a fucking tornado goes down. My anxiety goes through the roof. I become extra sensitive to sounds, sights, smells.
Yeah, she's been jumpy as a motherfucker in this closet.
I become, like, hypersensitive. So for him to play that sound is really mean. And I just started my fucking period, so I'm all, like, freaked out, which is why I want s'mores, and
it's kind of appropriate that we started the episode with something that is currently scaring you, because it is the Halloween episode. So
I guess so.
Anyhow.
And then I got scared because then we started hearing some sounds, and we didn't realize at the time they were coming from the computer. And then I got scared because I have a Ouija board, and I thought it was in the closet.
Yeah, let me interrupt in there. There was no point that I was scared. In fact, I was encouraging some of this.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's fucking mean. He wonders why I'm still, like, anxious about this, even though that happened when I was a kid. You're playing sounds, you're trying to egg me on, you're just being a butthole.
It's funny.
My gosh. Not a nickel for every time I called you a butthole.
You'd have a butthole full of nickels. Anyway, moving on. It's your segment. You want me to play your little bumper so you can
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do my boober.
Your boober?
My boober update.
Alright. Boober update.
Boober.
Updates. Anyhow.
So these are both, I got two little stories for y'all, and they did happen this week. Okay. This is not spooky, but it is scary, and it's on a, hey, no, for real, this shit's kind of scary. So I went and I picked up this guy and his son. First of all, when I got there, the little boy was no older than, I'd say he was about 4 or 5, somewhere around there, little. Yeah. And he puts him in the car and leaves him in the car with me. Runs up to his apartment and grabs something. So at first I'm like, okay, it was only for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was weird, though, because if I had children, I would never just leave them in an Uber person's car. So...
Yeah, I mean, when you first started telling me this story, I thought, what's wrong with it? But I was thinking with the perspective of how, motherly you are. But he doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't. He has no idea who I am.
Yeah.
He's lucky that I'm not some kind of crazed weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo. I'm kind of crazy too, but I'm not like a crazed weirdo, like put together in one same sentence. It means I'm kind of crazy, comma, and I'm kind of weird. But anyways. So I need to take him to Walgreens so that way he can get his son's medicine. And then he said, well, we're going to make a couple of stops. I'm like thinking, okay, so what's the other thing we're doing? He goes, oh, well, then we're going to go to Sam's Club. And he was basically treating it like I was just going to sit there and wait for him while he did all his grocery shopping.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. And I have no problem taking someone to the gas station real quick.
So did he tell you that's what he was going to do?
I started to inquire about it, and then when he came back from Walgreens, he was like, well, we're not going to go to Sam's. So, yeah, that's what he was going to do. But anyways, we get to Walgreens, and instead of him taking his son out of the car, or taking his son with him, he leaves his son in my car. And this time, he stays gone for about 15, 20 minutes.
Well, and if you think about this from his mindset, it's a selfish decision, if you really think about it, because the reason he didn't take his kid in there is because he didn't want his kid to get into things and cause him a nuisance and cause him a problem. So he left the kid in your car. I mean, that's...
And not only that, but, and this is weird because kids usually really like me. This kid did not like me. I tried to find a couple of toys for him. I let him play with my rubber duck, and I let him play with my little Beanie Baby I have. I mean,
yeah.
I tried to get him to smile. I tried to give me a high five. Like, I'm usually super good with kids, and this kid just did not like me.
Did he just seem sad, the kid?
He just seemed like kind of concerned, and he
should be. You're a stranger.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You're a stranger with weird purple blue hair.
His dad was FaceTiming with his mom, and they were speaking in a different language, and he was doing it while we were driving, and then, like, his apartment complex was throwing a little party for the residents, like a little barbecue thing at the office. It was kind of cool looking. I'd never seen anything like that before. And then he's like, no, I want to show my mom the party. Can you turn around and go back so that way I can just, I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
So he's one of the reasons I have decided not to drive in fucking Garland anymore. Because everyone was weird. Everyone was, and I'm like, no, I like Dallas. That's where I like to drive. Okay. I don't like to do Plano either. Plano on a Friday night, Saturday night, it's really just a dumb bitch convention. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, that's exactly what Plano is. But here's the scary thing, okay? Again, he left his kid in my car.
With a complete stranger.
If you're a parent, could you imagine doing something like that? Someone you've never met before. He doesn't know me.
No matter how nice you act, I would never...
No.
I would never do that to somebody.
That's not acceptable. So, that's my first part of my...
Hashtag bad parenting 101.
Hashtag really bad parenting.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Okay.
So, anyways, the second one, we've had crazy rain here lately. We've had crazy weather, to be honest with you. Just... mainly the rain, and it's not so much on the winds, but really, really, really a lot of rain. So it was Friday, it was last Friday, and then Halloween was on Saturday. So yeah, the day before Halloween. My friend Danny went with me, who's actually done a podcast solely with Scott for one of our episodes.
Yeah, we just haven't released it yet.
Yeah, it was when we had the not as good quality mic.
Yeah.
So we're trying to think about what we want to do with that. And Danny did say, well, I could always come over and record another one.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars is coming out soon. He and I will definitely be
I have to have a Star Wars episode.
Absolutely. Definitely.
So, anyways, really bad weather. And Danny had went with me for the night, and I'm glad he did because I was scared, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. And we went and we picked up a couple of ladies from the Fox and the Hound, which is over here in Addison. It's actually a chain, but it's,
I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. So it's just a little pub bar type place. So, anyways, we went and we picked up the ladies. They were super nice. They were telling us about how they were scared of their last Uber driver because this rain, like I said, it's been so bad. And normally Texans drive about 70 on the highway. Well, he was still driving 70 on the highway in that rain.
Yeah,
I don't think you really understand how
weather.
It was bad, like bad.
Yeah,
I don't even, I wish I should have, if I would have thought of it, I would have looked up how many inches we got, but I mean,
I remember
they were blocking roads off and stuff because
of it. I know, I mean, I wasn't out in it, but I could hear it. I was like, damn, it's fucking hit. It was blowing against the apartment, and
yeah,
it was crazy.
So, anyways, they were telling me about it because as soon as they get in the car, the first thing I tell them is, hey, we're having this crazy weather. I just want to let you know I take safety as a very serious thing. We're going to be driving slower, and I'm sorry, but it's more important to me that I get you where you gotta go safe. Well, that does two things.
You're letting them know that they're safe with you, and you're letting them know it is going to be a slower ride, so if they don't want to do take you, they could call another driver.
I know, and that's why I do it. And I like being my own boss because, like, you know, if I were working somewhere else, I couldn't lay it out like that. I'm saying I am driving slower. This is how it's going to go, but this is why.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And that's when they started telling me how scary and reckless their last Uber driver was. Because when we were on the highway, like, I had to scoot up on my seat, like, and grab the steering wheel and push myself forward. And had my my brights on.
Just to see in front of you?
Just to see in front of me. My
Wow.
wiper blades going full blast. The people parked under the bridge so that way they could wait for it to pass a little bit.
Yeah.
And still, there were people trying to drive 70, 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
I didn't go anything above 50.
That's Texas drivers for you, though.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And so we spent the time getting them there, and then the hotel we were dropping them off at was backed up. Like, it was people trying to turn in and stuff, and no one was moving forward, but we were technically at their location. Just I didn't want to drop them off in the pouring rain when I could have pulled up under the awning and dropped them off.
Yeah.
So, Danny, I was like, hey, do you want me to find my umbrella and walk you guys up there? I really don't mind doing it. And Danny was like, yeah, hang on. He's like, hey, you know, he gets in my trunk, he hollers up to me where it is. And the ladies are like, no, don't worry about it. Danny finds it, and he's like, it's pouring rain out here. Are you sure? She hands me a $20 bill.
Wow.
And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I look at her, I'm like, well, you don't have to tip me, you know that. She goes, I know, but you were just a really awesome driver, and you're the safest driver I've ever been with.
That's cool.
So that was a really cool thing, and I'm pretty sure she was one of my recent 5-star comments.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I feel good about that. But the scary part, the reason I shared that story is because it was just, that rain was...
Well, and the other driver was scary.
No, that's true, too.
Yeah.
Be considerate of other people's lives, folks. Especially if you're an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an Uber driver. Yeah, we're given some freedom because we're our own bosses and everything like that. We create our own schedules. It's nice. It's flexible. And that's what I love about it. But be good at what you do. Have some pride in what you do. If you're a driver, be appropriate with it. Oh.
I think you're about to bring up what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask you how you felt about the recent news with the driver being attacked.
So basically what had happened is there was this Uber driver who had a rider that kept nodding off, falling asleep, didn't give him the address. So he's like, hey, well, you got to give me directions. He's like, okay, I'll do that. Keeps falling asleep, this, that, and the other, being completely disrespectful to the driver. Go ahead and look it up. Just Google it. I'm sure people have heard about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can probably even just Google Uber driver and it'd be one of the top hits.
Yeah, absolutely. So the passenger, though, starts beating the shit out of the Uber driver.
Yeah, he's sitting behind him and he's just like reaching up and hitting with hooks, like right hooks to the face and stuff.
Yeah. And okay, here's something a little scary to add to that, too. I think I'm getting a taser for fucking Christmas. So, remember, your Uber drivers, be carrying something. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
We're not stupid.
So, how do you feel? I mean, I know this is your place of work, but how do you feel it should be handled?
I feel like Uber handled it the appropriate way.
Okay.
They basically what they've done is they have made it to where that rider cannot ever use Uber again. Now, here's what would be nice. If he's out partying with some friends, who's to say he still can't get in an Uber car and it just be under his friend's name? They need to make a way where his name is blocked all the way around in the system.
Yeah.
All the way around. Uber... They're working on stuff, but they need to work on stuff more to the safety level.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What do you think they should do in the future to help with this kind of situation?
Every single Uber driver needs to have a camera in their car.
Yeah.
Every single Uber driver needs to have some sort of weapon.
You know what? Actually, it would be a smart...
That's why I'm getting a taser. Seriously.
It would be a smart business...
And then I'm going to charge him for pissing in my car.
It'd be a smart business thing for Uber to cut a deal with GoCam and like run together as a business, advertising that they're in the car and stuff.
That would be good commercial.
It'd be good, marketing.
But here's the problem with that is actually when I get a GoPro, I'm going to have...
That's what I meant, GoPro.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Grandma if she'll save the receipt. Because I'll write that off on my fucking taxes.
Yep, you sure can.
I mean, come on. Like, I want a GoPro for fun, but after seeing that video...
You need it for safety.
I need it for safety. Yes, I already carry a knife with me. And I was shown how to use it. Like, I actually was shown how to use it, and I paid attention to it. Because I have to. It's kind of like getting... And I know I've brought this up before, but it's kind of like getting robbed or mugged. You don't think it's ever going to happen to you until it fucking happens to you. Or getting raped. You don't think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you. And then you're fuck, I should have known what to do.
I worry about you on a day-to-day basis. It's scary for me. Uber in general is scary for me, but...
I know, and it makes me feel bad you seeing that video because it's only going to scare you more. Yeah. But I hope it'll make you feel better knowing that I have something like that.
You know what I heard today at work? This is allegedly, of course, because I don't know if this for fact or anything, but apparently the guy that attacked him was like, I think he was a manager of a Taco Bell branch.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was corporate, and they fired him.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no. Shauna shared both of those stories to my wall.
Way to go, Taco Bell.
Woo! Taco Bell. They don't want a piece of shit like that working for them.
Yeah.
What company would?
Yeah, no joke.
So, anyways, there's my Uber update, and cool. I hope there was lots of stuff in that little segment to scare the shit out of y'all. That stuff is real.
Yeah, no joking.
It's the day-to-day scary, not Halloween scary. That is the day-to-day scary.
Yeah. So true. Well, I think we're going to move right into our first Halloween-centric segment this week. This is the segment that's going to be replacing Pitch a Fit this week. What it is...
It's the Boo Review.
It's the Boo Review.
Just say it.
Yeah.
It's the Boo Review. It's exciting and it's fun.
And what Steph and I did was we each picked out a movie, a horror movie that we knew the other person hadn't seen. And, well, actually, it's not necessarily a horror movie because I didn't pick one that was specifically
just something
horror.
That's Halloween related.
Halloween, yeah. Halloween kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's move right into the Boo Review.
Boo.
Review-bies. It's the Boobies Review-bies.
I'm excited.
Okay, so let's kick off with your movie. In fact, before we move into your movie, we're going to play a little bit of music from it.
Okay.
And you can just talk right over this if you want.
No.
Do you guys know what that is?
Of course they do. Anybody
who has heard this song probably knows it first from this movie. I know I did. You're imagining a dining room table surrounded by a bunch of snobby, artistic bitches. And suddenly they're grabbed in the face by a lobster claw monster thing because Beetlejuice is on the loose.
So, I did a little review of Beetlejuice because before anyone starts in on me, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate movie snobs. I hate people that get, oh my god, you've never seen this movie? It irritates me because for some reason, I don't remember a lot of stuff from my childhood. So, okay, I've seen Beetlejuice, but I was super little when I saw it, and I didn't remember anything about it. The only thing I remembered was it was about a guy whose name you said 3 times, and then he's there, and he helps you. So, that's all I remembered about it.
Did you remember what he looked like?
No, I knew what he looked like.
Okay.
Oh, I knew what he looked like. And, if I'm going to be honest, like this time that I reviewed it, and I actually, I'm paying attention to it, I'm old enough to remember what it's about, and I actually, I get it. When you're little, you're just like, what?
Okay. Yeah.
So
I know, watching it again, I'm like, there was parts that I didn't get.
That you didn't catch the first, yeah. Well, you've seen it like a million times.
Oh, yeah.
So like, that was my initial, what I thought it was going to be about, because I have seen it. I was just
That's
like,
pretty
super
accurate.
little.
Pretty close.
Yeah. And, well, rewatching it, like, the one thing I kept thinking over and over again is, oh my God, I bet he smells really bad. Like me and all my prim and proper and prissy girliness over here. I'm like, ew.
So, I mean, what did you think about it overall? Did you...
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the movie. I liked it a lot.
Good. Yeah.
So, I can see why it's a cult classic.
It was one of Winona Ryder's first movies. I think it kind of kicked her career off pretty...
Oh, one thing that I was really surprised about... Or, okay, I don't want to say surprised. It's like when I saw it, I was like, dope. Of course, that makes sense. I didn't know it was a Tim Burton movie.
Oh, yeah.
That I honestly legitimately did not remember. And I was like, what? Oh, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Winona Ryder's character bringing in the whole little beginning of the emo kid thing, the whole death and gloom, I want to kill myself type
Yeah,
of
I guess that was probably around the birth of emo kids. You think?
Oh,
it was in the 80s.
I don't know, because I was so little. Like, I wasn't an emo 3-year-old. I don't know.
Oh my God. I would love to see an emo 3-year-old. What would an emo 3-year-old say? Or do? Just cry?
I'm sitting here actually trying to think about what an emo 3-year-old would be like.
It'd have to have that emo haircut where part of the hair's down over its eye.
But then the baby or the 3-year-old would be fussy all the time because the hair's always in their eye and it's kissing them. 3-year-olds are emotional enough as is. I think maybe 3-year-olds are emos, just not with guy liner and weird haircuts.
Wow, you just called every 3-year-old in the world emo. That's kind of weird.
Well, they are. Typically kids are kind of emotional.
Well, and that's
Littles
what emo
are.
is short for, so.
Yeah. But I can't really say anything. I've been a crybaby my entire life. I've been emotional my entire life.
And now you wear it with pride.
And now I wear it with pride.
Thanks to Melanie Martinez.
Thank you, Melanie Martinez. So I don't mind being a crybaby. I mean, I guess that's not even really true because I hate crying in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, something kind of to add to... Maybe something I should have talked about the first episode, but I really didn't want to. Because, it put you at a vulnerable spot. I started crying at the party.
Yeah.
And it was because Michelle was like, I told her you should go with me and drive one night while I'm doing an Uber night.
Oh, you're talking about the Halloween party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she was like, hon, I've tried to hang out with you. It goes both ways. And she's right.
Yeah.
She's right. Like, I don't know. It started. And I wasn't sleeping a lot. And now I've got my period. So maybe I was just PMSing all over. But I've definitely felt very weired.
Well, sometimes you just get caught up in life and in the woes of life, and you don't step outside that box. I know I'm really guilty of that, and sometimes you are too.
Yeah, I know. And it makes me feel bad because I don't want to be selfish. I'm not trying to be by any means. It just gets hard sometimes, and I don't know. It just gets hard.
I know.
So, anyways, moving right along.
Life.
I should have not jumped onto that little tangent.
Well, let me bring you back on track here, and we'll move right into the movie you picked for me.
Wait. I've got one more thing to add.
Okay, let's hear it.
Trick or treat. Give me something good to eat. If you don't, I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear. Surprise Hocus Pocus review.
Oh, God.
I love that movie. Oh, my God. And I think my favorite part is when Mary goes to their master's house. God, what's that actor's name? I cannot remember. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. But it's the guy that's dressed up as Satan. And anyways, they all go over there and, blah, 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 blah. They're visiting their master's house. And then Mary watches the commercial with the baby in the background freaking out. And then she freaks out at the TV. And it's fucking hilarious. And then my other favorite part is when she can't find a broom, so she rides a vacuum cleaner. And another dilemma for any female that's listening. Do we think Zachary Binks is cuter as a cat or as a human? Because I remember when I was young, I had like the biggest crush on him. But then I was like, oh, he's a kitty and he's so cute and he's saving Danny, the little sister.
I think this makes you a furry.
What the fuck? Where'd that come from? Oh my god.
Because you're into him being a kitty.
No, you are not. You're completely, you don't get it. You don't get it. Never mind. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to the movie that I picked for you.
Okay. I was not expecting a surprise Hocus Pocus.
He said that I was already going to be reviewing a movie, so I didn't need to review another, but trick or treat.
She just threw that in there. Not even thinking about the fact that I'm the one editing the episode.
Not even thinking about the fact that you're the one that has a harder time talking than I do.
What has that got to do with anything?
You don't have to edit me as much. You've already told me that.
Yeah, but now I have to edit you a bunch. There's a whole Hocus Pocus section in there that doesn't belong.
Oh, that's awful of you. You're going to leave that in there. You're going to leave that in there.
You didn't get it what I was saying?
No.
That's what I was saying.
Because I would never think that you would do something so treacherous to me. But now I know that you're capable of that kind of shit, you butthole.
You're eating out my heart and soul.
So Stephanie decided to take me way back in time
to a cheesy-ass 80s movie.
That's a fond horror memory for her as a child.
Again, another cult classic type of movie.
This movie is Motel Hell.
Yeah, I had the hardest time trying to find a movie that he hadn't seen. Because that was the deal, is we had to find a movie that the other person had.
Yeah, for people who don't know me personally, I am a huge horror buff. I call myself the Gorehound for a reason. Unsound Gorehound. Because I'm crazy as fuck sometimes. But anyhow.
Most times.
I love horror movies, so I know most...
Yeah, he didn't even understand how one-sided this task was.
No, really, there's so many horror movies out there. I didn't see this one.
Which, that was hard to figure out. I had to go, I just kept on looking up. I finally found myself on a website, and I can't remember exactly where I was, but it was a list of obscure horror movies that if you haven't seen, you should see. So, I just started going down this list, and
I wish you had the list. What else was on it? Was there other ones that I had seen?
I mean, every single one of them, it was obvious stuff. I'm like, yeah, he's seen that. But then I came across Motel Hell, and I'm like, I remember seeing this as a kid and it terrifying me. Let's see if he's seen this. So, okay, what did you think that it was going to be about?
I actually thought it was going to be about, teenagers who stayed in a hotel, and then they were, killed off one by some secret killer or something.
So, kind of like Until Dawn, but in the 80s and cheesy.
Yeah, well, and I actually thought the hotel would actually have something more to do with the movie, and it really didn't. I don't even know why they called it Motel Hell, because... For the most part.
Really?
Yeah, because he didn't, okay, so the victims, okay, first of all, spoilers if you haven't seen this movie, but the victims, he killed were, he set up traps in the streets and
But it wasn't just that. Okay.
They didn't really show him killing anybody from the hotel.
You're doing the review. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. Maybe I missed something.
Oh, yeah. Did you not do notes as you were going?
I wrote down notes.
Okay, because the reason it's Motel Hell is because he's selling that meat. He's selling Farmer, what's his fuck face? Farmer, blah, 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 blah. Farmer... I can't remember. Anyways, they're selling his meat, which is people that he's fucking killed.
So why doesn't he just have a meat market instead of a hotel?
But people drive through, they stay, they go. Not everyone fucking that comes in leaves. Remember when he gets those really kinky people there?
Yeah, but that was really the only people he killed that stayed there.
No, there was a...
No.
Yeah, I believe there was. But anyway, so you
he
really...
caused car accidents to get them.
You really don't understand why it's called Motel Hell.
I understand, yes. I get that it's a trap of death.
Okay,
I get that part.
Okay.
But my point is, for them to name the movie Motel Hell, it really wasn't centered around a motel. You think of a movie like that, and you imagine kill scenes in the hotel rooms. You know, where, like, they're killing them in the shower, or, you know, whatever. They're killing them in their rooms. Instead of what he did is he set up, like, he put cows in the road at one point, like fake cows.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. And cheesy.
Yeah, and he killed those girls in the road.
Remember the naked 80s bush?
Oh, yeah.
80s bush.
Yeah,
Hashtag 80s bush.
Oh, my God. So, anyway, what the movie was about really was a guy who... He
tortured people.
He tortured people, and he cooked them. He smoked them.
It wasn't even really, like, it wasn't even a varied way of torturing people. He would just plant them in the ground and cut out their vocal cords so they couldn't scream.
Yeah, it's varied. I've never seen that in a movie.
No, I mean, like, he's doing different things to different people. They all get the same fucking fate. They wind up planted in the ground.
Yeah, he literally...
vocal cords cut and a black bag over their head.
Him and his sister would dig a hole in a secret garden they had, and take these people and stick them down in the freaking ground with their heads sticking up, and cut their vocal cords, and they go.
Kind of sound like zombies, huh?
Yeah, and then he put bags over their head. He'd feed them and stuff like that. And then eventually he would kill them and go cook them and add them with his pork, with his pigs, and sell the meat around the county. But I guess as a connoisseur of horror movies, I feel like maybe they used... I bet you that movie had a different title.
Really?
I bet you that movie initially had a different title, and they gave it Motel Hell because it's catchy. It pops.
But there was also it was supposed to be Motel Hello, and the O kept flickering.
Yeah, that was actually the first thing I noticed about the movie. I'm like, oh, why don't they fix that O?
They didn't want to.
I guessed early on that they were cannibals, but I didn't realize that everybody in that town was cannibals. They just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
It was somewhat cheesy. For the most part, I liked the movie. The only real issue I had was when at the beginning of the movie, a guy and a girl are on a bike, and he tries to kill them, and the guy dies, but the girl doesn't, and he keeps her, and he helps bring her back helps her recover, and within, I guess she was there maybe a week, 2 weeks, she tells the guy who's killing people and cooking people, of course she doesn't know this at that point, she tells him that she loves him and she wants to marry him. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Why is she wanting him to marry some dude within a fucking week to 2 weeks?
Yeah, no kidding. Like, when the love of her life supposedly just died.
Yeah.
But then again, it goes back to the 80s cheese.
And I'm like, okay, she's crazy. She's going to be one of these people. But it didn't turn out that way.
It's 80s cheese.
So I think the best part of the movie was the chainsaw fight. I've never seen a chainsaw versus chainsaw fight.
Yeah, that was
pretty
really
good,
cool.
Especially for the 80s.
Yeah.
Although I kept thinking, how's he seeing out of that pig's head? He had a pig's head on his head. I'm like, how's he seeing out to even have this chainsaw fight?
Yeah, you really, honestly, you look at horror movies in such a different way that I do.
Yeah.
I just look at, like, I can actually watch a movie and think movie magic, whatever. I can get past that.
She suspends disbelief, and I don't. I am looking for practical effects and special effects and stuff like that while I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And it actually had some pretty good practical effects in the movie, but
very cheesy.
That was a time when there wasn't really special effects. So.
Yeah, so.
Overall, I would say I give this movie an 8 out of 10 gorgasms. That's my own little rating scale, the gorgasm.
Well, then I would give my two movies a 10 of 10. They're not like horror movies, but they're
Halloween
movies.
centric.
And they are actually both cult classics.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus, like, every girl loves that movie. Everyone loves it. Or Practical Magic. Every girl loves that movie. Beetlejuice. I mean, everyone loves that movie. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I thought about giving you a traditional horror movie, but I knew I'd already known you hadn't seen Beetlejuice, and I'm like, okay, this is a perfect time to introduce you to this movie, because it's Halloween-ish. And it's just something that you should see. It's one of those great movies. As a side note, from what I've read, they're making an actual sequel with.
That's what I heard.
With all the original cast that's available and the original, everybody. So I think that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
That makes me really, really excited.
Oh, apparently they're making a Hocus Pocus 2 as well.
Really, with the same cast?
Now that I don't know.
Oh, I think it's that time again.
Oh, yay! Abrupt stop to the last thing I said.
Oh, yay. Talk to the bells. It's not my fault.
Weekly Confession, guys.
Oh, no.
It's not a Weekly Confession.
The Weekly Confession. It is far from the Weekly Confession.
What did we decide to call it again?
We're venturing down into the deep, dark bowels of the Truth Confessional. Here, we will give our creepy confessional. So, guys, this week we are having, instead of the weekly confessional, we're having the creepy confessional. And what this is a Halloween, themed confession between one another. And it's also something that maybe mine is something that you might think is creepy. I don't know about yours, but mine definitely could be.
Oh, no. With as much as I believe in the supernatural, mine are creepy.
The supernatural.
The supernatural, mine are definitely creepy.
All right, well, let's hear it. I want to hear your creepy.
Okay, so my dad died when I was really little. I was 6, right? And before I had turned 7, I had just turned 7. I was little when this had happened. And my dad had been gone for a little bit, but obviously I was still traumatized, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So my stepbrother and we were playing in his bedroom. I can't remember. I think we were playing cars or, we were just playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I see my dad's spirit appear in the corner of the room.
Whoa.
Full figure. He looked like he was all there. And he was talking to me. And my brother couldn't see him. I swear to you.
Did you say to your brother, can you see him?
Well, what happened is I saw him there, and I started screaming bloody murder. Like, at the top of my lungs, and I backed myself into a corner, and I was hyperventilating, and...
What was your brother doing?
He was freaking out. He walked up to me, started shaking me. He's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I'm like, my dad's over there. You can't see him? My dad's over there.
Oh, my gosh.
He runs out of the room and goes and gets my parents, and my dad actually does say something to me. He's chuckling at me a little bit, because he's seeing me freak out. He's like, it's okay. I want you to know everything's gonna be okay. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, I promise you, everything's gonna be okay. Don't be scared. So, was that really a spirit? Or was it the mind of a traumatized child?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never told you about that, or went into the details of it at least.
I actually thought, I don't know why, I thought this was a story when you started talking about, like, playing in the room with your brother. This was going to be the story about your mom with the mattress.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that's what you were about to tell me.
I was going to do that one. I was like, no.
Oh, you actually thought about that?
I thought about it, but I was like...
But I already knew that.
Yeah, I was like, that one's got so much cheese all over it.
Wow.
I'm just not going to. So here's the other little one that I have. My stepdad, when I was 20... so about 7 years ago, he had a stroke. And I remember I was actually hanging out with Shauna. I was hanging out with Shauna, and this is before her and Jay were even engaged.
Mm-hmm.
This is when they were still dating. And so Shauna and I had went over to Jay's house and had dinner with Becky and Nick, his parents. We went over there to have dinner. And then we were coming back to Euless, and then she was going to go out to Fort Worth, because at the time I was living in Euless and she was living in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
On our way back on 183, something had drawn our attention up. And we both looked up, and we saw a demon standing on a bridge.
You told me about this.
But here's the crazy thing. This demon that we saw it 2 days before my stepdad had his stroke. And I will never forget that cold feeling, like that. Shauna and I were both like, whoa.
Wow.
Like, when we saw that demon, we knew something really, really bad and life-changing was going to happen.
At that time or later you realized it?
We didn't know. When we saw the demon, okay, we had to pull over after because we were both...
Who brought it up first?
All I said was, did you see that? And she was like, yeah, the demon. And because we were turning on the bridge.
What did it look like?
It was this dark black mass that had these gigantic wings and these horns on its head. It was black. Like, this thing it was dark. But we both felt it. And the feeling that we got just washed over us at the same time. It was fucking messed up. And that's what I'm saying. I know you don't believe in that stuff, but when you get that feeling, it's like falling in love. I know that sounds creepy. It's like falling in love, though. When you know, you know.
Weird.
No, when you know, you know. We knew what had happened. So we pulled over and we talked about it for a second. And I said, something really bad's about to happen. Or I think she had said that to me. And I was like, I know that I got that feeling too. Something, we don't know when, but something bad. That's the feeling that washed over us.
Did you consider going back and seeing if you could find it?
Yeah, we both did. And then we got too scared. We're like, no, let's just go.
Wow.
Let's just go. And then 2 days later, my stepdad had his stroke.
Wow.
Which has changed our lives completely.
Yeah?
Completely. So, those are my creepy confessionals. Ooh. Ooh. What's yours? What you got?
Mine's creepy in a different way.
Okay.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I put this together. I don't even know what got me to thinking this way. I guess when I was thinking about what I was going to confess, I realized that the first set of boobs I ever saw was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Oh, yeah, I remember those boobies.
The scene with the nurse was played by Stacey Alden. I can remember, like, going, oh, I shouldn't see this.
Those are boobs. I want to look at those.
Maybe subconsciously that's why, that particular movie is my favorite.
Maybe. No,
then, of course, she fucking, like, ties him up with her tongue and puts him over the pit of hell, and I'm like, no to women, no girls, no girls.
That's my favorite Freddy movie is number 3.
Oh, mine too, for sure.
Yeah, Dream Warriors is
so it came out in, like, 87, so I would have been, I saw it, like, on HBO, so that had probably been, like, 2 years after it's been out, maybe 3. So I was saying 90, and I was born in 82, so I was 7, 8. So somewhere around there is the first time I saw a set of boobs. And I got to thinking, okay, so maybe since she was a blonde, that's why I'm not into blondes. Because I'm like, them bitches are going to shoot tongues at me and tie me to a bed.
And hang me above hell.
I'd be like, well, you got nice boobs, but you're about to kill me! So that's my confessional this week. Is that I put together that my first set of boobs, which is kind of appropriate because horror movies are my thing. So obviously, my first set of boobs was in a horror movie, a slasher from the 80s. So
that's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
That is great.
I'm like, because I thought of that moment, and I'm like, can I think of any time before? And I couldn't think of any other time other than, I guess I'd never seen them anywhere that I can think of, because I didn't say other than seeing a Playboy, but at 7 I wouldn't have seen a Playboy.
No, you wouldn't have. You would. Well, maybe like if your stepdad had one and he found it or something.
No, I never.
Did I tell you that my dad, he was a horror movie buff as well, and the very first movie the movies that I remember watching with him were the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I remember sitting in his lap and watching those with him. And then my grandma would yell at him, "Christopher Dean, you don't need to be watching letting that baby watch them movies." Da, 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 da. And then my dad would try and teach me. He'd be like, "Those aren't scary. He's not scary." He tried to make it, seem like it was just a movie instead of a scary movie.
Well, my grandpa did the same. We didn't watch it together, but he would always tell me when I'd rent him and stuff. He'd be like, "Just remember that's just movie magic. It's not real."
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's what sparked my fascination in how they do it, in the makeup and stuff like that.
Like, oh, that's so cool. How do they do it?
But no one watched horror movies with me growing up.
Really?
I watched them by myself. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. That's a confession right there. I didn't know that.
Maybe that's why they don't scare me. Like, I adapted to watching those things, and I always watched them in the dark and stuff.
Maybe because when I see something that's scary, I'm crawling in the next person's lap. I'm like, "Get me a blanket. I'm covering up."
Maybe that's what was
Turn that light on.
Maybe that's what was wrong with that Uber rider, is he was dreaming of Freddy, so he's like, "I gotta get in your lap." Remember your Uber rider?
No, he was just, ethanol was involved. He was just very drunk. He was just very drunk.
Just very, very drunk.
Yeah, very, very drunk, so.
Okay, well, that will move us right into the Halloween edition of the What the Fuck News. I'll start off if you want.
Go for it.
Alright, so this week, I happened to, well, actually, it would have been last week that I stumbled upon this news article on Facebook. It was trending at the time. And it's a Huffington Post. It was written by Whitney Mears. And the title is, "Walking Dead fan kills friend. Thought he was a zombie."
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you didn't hear about this?
No.
Unfortunately, this wasn't in Florida, so you Florida listeners out there, you slipped by this week for me. This guy was from New Mexico.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. That's all you're getting.
Merry Christmas in October. Well, actually, now it's November for us, but anyway.
Wait, hold on. To add to that for just... When I woke up the morning after Halloween...
You saw a zombie.
The very first thing I woke up to was a fucking Christmas commercial. I turned that shit off because I'd fallen asleep in the recliner. I turned that shit off and I'm like, "Fuck this, I'm going to bed."
That is American marketing at its finest.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So,
hashtag American marketing.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, so anyway, back to the article. It reads, "A New Mexico man binge watching The Walking Dead faces murder charge after allegedly beating an acquaintance to death, claiming his friend began to change into a zombie." Grants Police initially responded to a call October 22nd that a man holding a weapon was chasing a woman through an apartment about 80 miles from Albuquerque. Officer Lieutenant Jason Frank arrived to find two maintenance men restraining 23-year-old Damon Perry. Upon approaching the suspect, the officer saw the body of Christopher Paquin with obvious trauma. The victim, also 23, was pronounced dead soon after. Police said Perry noted the blockbuster zombie TV show was the reason for the actions. He allegedly said he and Paquin had been drinking large amounts of alcohol. He claims
alcohol was involved in this.
He claims Paquin tried to bite him. Perry allegedly beat Paquin with his hands and feet, in addition to using an electric guitar and a microwave.
And a microwave?
Perry then allegedly rushed out of the apartment and threatened others. Perry is being held in custody at the Cibola County Detention Center.
Okay, so this is like the zombie-like attacks that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I told you, we need to get fucking ready for this shit.
No, it's not. Listen to the article. What it was is these dumb fucks were drunk, and the other one goes, "It'll be funny if I pretend to bite him." And the other guy killed him. He killed him with a microwave.
Oh.
Bitch, you pissed me off, I'm gonna kill you with electric guitar.
No, bitch, you try and bite me, I'm gonna kill you with an electric guitar.
Michonne, what? Michonne has to use a fucking katana. This guy used an electric guitar.
Wow. So much wow.
It's not really a laughing matter because someone died, but wow. That is insane.
That is definitely what the fuck news. You know, it's the second news article since we've started recording that involves a microwave.
I know. I thought that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what was that, like episode 2 or 3? It was way early on, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That, on a side note, in relation to Walking Dead, we recently saw we have a new episode to watch, don't we? From Sunday? Or did we watch it?
I watched it. You fell asleep.
Anyway, we don't know what happened to Glenn. That's the whole point. I need to still watch the episode.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's not a spoiler alert because we don't know what happened yet.
But people don't know that he could have been in danger to begin with.
I guess so.
It's a spoiler alert.
Anyway, hopefully by next episode we will know what's going on.
They're going to make us wait a couple episodes.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I'll be honest, when it started showing Morgan instead, I'm like, damn it.
I like what they did because I like Morgan's story and stuff. I liked they explained that.
But why put it there? We want to know.
I know, that was the worst place to put it. I'm like, oh my god, I got to know about what's going on with
They're
Glenn.
dragging it on for ratings.
Well, yeah, and they know how much people love Glenn. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right, let's hear your what the fuck news, because I would say that was pretty what the fuck and pretty Halloweeny.
Halloweeny.
You got a Halloweeny.
So this was done November 3rd, 2014. So it is a little bit older, but this was just too funny to pass up on. I found this on
It's almost a year ago.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, it's been over a year ago.
Just over, yeah.
Yeah, it's been over. So, because today's the November 5th. Anyways, so I found this on Newser.com. And it is by Neil Congrass. Congrass is what it actually looks like. Okay. Guy dressed as Fox reporter attacked on Halloween. Yeah.
Okay.
A guy dressed as a Fox News reporter on Halloween experienced the downside of media politics when a stranger allegedly attacked him, yelling, "I hate Fox News!"
What?
What's more, the Fox hater may be a new candidate for Hot Mugshot Man. Police say the victim was attending a parade on Friday in downtown Santa Cruz, California, when Sean Corey, 29, snatched his microphone prop, stuffed it in the man's pants, and jerked it around.
Jerk the mic around, I hope.
Jerked the mic around,
Okay.
supposedly. Corey is said to have had run after the guy with a tennis racket and made an obscene gesture at him. The San Jose Mercury
With a
News
tennis
reports.
racket? What the fuck was he doing with a tennis racket?
Probably,
Oh, God.
pretending like it was his dick or something. Being a stupid man. The faux Fox man wasn't seriously injured, but did call the police, who chased down Corey and arrested him for assault, People reports. Now for the mugshot. People in U.S. Weekly instantly compared it to that of Jeremy Meeks, an ex-gangbanger whose baby blues made the internet swoon, recalls
Oh, I
Walker.
remember that guy.
Yeah. People report that Dreadlock Corey proved there was a new hottie thug in town.
Oh my God.
So yeah, there's my article.
Your article just took a turn for the worse. God. What the hell?
Oh God, could you imagine
What did Fox News do to him?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like,
Did they report that, I don't know, that he's a bad cook?
It very well could have been something like he doesn't like the way that they report. He doesn't think they report the truth or some shit like that. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's my news.
Wow,
there's
that
my
is-
what the fuck news.
Yeah, what in the figgity fuck? Wow.
Oh, gosh.
my gosh. Okay, so, alright, so now that you guys got the Halloween edition of our What the Fuck News, we're going to move right into our last segment of the show. That is a little spin on our typical segment, which is the Last Minute Pitch, which is where we're usually pitching an idea or something we like to you. This week, it's going to be called the Last Minute Plea, and what that is we're going to give you caution for things that we think you need to be careful with in your life. So why don't you caution some people on whatever is currently concerning you?
Okay. So, it's kind of difficult to tell you guys not to do this because it's something I've done. But take it from someone who is learning the repercussions of doing this to please not do it. Don't play with Ouija boards. Don't play with Ouija boards. I wasn't trying to play with it. I was trying to contact my mother. And I've had a negative experience with that whole situation. Now, here's the part that's really bad, and I have a feeling that some people that are listening to this might be like, you're fucking stupid. But I made a homemade Ouija board.
Yeah, she did that first.
Yeah, and that's the one where we got the negative results. I had gotten a actual store-bought one, and nothing even happened with it, to be honest with you. No experience whatsoever.
What did you do with the one you made?
It is with the other one.
Oh, well, why wouldn't you get rid of that one?
Because there's a special way I need to go about getting rid of it. Amber and I talked about it. But
okay.
Basically, especially when you home make one, all of your intentions and your anxieties, and it's not blessed, basically. Like, you're putting your energy into it, and with my energy being so negative just because I want to talk to my mom so badly is kind of what screwed it up for me. Yeah, that one we've actually had experience with. By we, I mean my sister and I.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I talked about the experience on another podcast.
Yeah, you did.
So, but that's my last minute plea to you guys. If you're going to communicate with the dead, because we've all lost loved ones. We have all lost someone that we would give anything to talk to again. Make sure the board is blessed. Make sure you're lighting white candles. Make sure you have sage, so that way you can clear the negative energy out of your house. And anyone who's listening to this that thinks I'm a fucking kook, or thinks something is wrong with me because, oh no, that's devil's work, go to hell. Go to hell. Seriously, I'm not, no. I don't think... each their own on their own beliefs, but I did have a negative experience. My little sister actually physically got hurt because of this. So, yeah, I believe in it, and I really don't give a damn what anyone else has to say about it. I'm just trying to help you out by telling you what to do if you're going to insist upon doing something like that. Don't make a homemade one. Make sure you get it blessed, and make sure you're using white candles. Make sure you have sage.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's my last plea.
None of which you did.
No, I had white candles.
What does that provide?
Purity. It's supposed to be a purity thing. And I would have been better off, even if I didn't have the sage. I should have never made a homemade one. I did use white candles, but I didn't have it blessed. Mm-hmm. So I really, like, Amber and I kind of need to do something where we bury this thing. I'm not going to go into the details what we have to do, but there's a special way I have to rid it so that way the negative energy doesn't stay attached to me.
Okay.
So I know you think I'm batshit crazy, but I'm not.
I don't think you're crazy. I just don't. I'm not. I don't believe in that kind of thing. So
if you had an experience, you would.
But you only have experiences because you believe. If you didn't believe, you wouldn't have experiences.
No, there was physically... Kirsten physically got hurt.
But she believes.
No, she physically was hurt. Remember when she had those claw marks on the back of her neck? Mm-hmm. Who did that?
Her while she's sleeping.
No, those are little claw marks. It wasn't like they were spread out like someone scratches themselves. They were all very close together and thin and looked like little tiny nails.
I guess the point, and I respect your beliefs, so I'm not trying to like convince you in either way. But I guess to play devil's advocate, my point is because I don't believe, I never had experience. So that is a point right there.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
If I don't believe, I've never had the experience.
Yeah, it's true.
But I like it.
If something did happen, though, you would believe. You would know. You're like,
yeah.
Undoubtedly, I see what's happening here. Especially if you're doing something like that with someone you trust. I didn't move it. I didn't move the planchette, and Kirsten didn't either, because we were both wanting to contact Mom. We're both very serious about that. We have a family member who is very serious about that kind of stuff. And, like, we knew that you don't play with that. You don't, like, if we accidentally bumped the table, because we did it in here, right here, actually.
I know, why?
Cause table.
We might be your favorite monsters in the closet, but apparently there's a demon in here as well.
No.
What's his name? Fence?
I don't want to say his name.
Okay, so obviously it wasn't Fence.
But I will say his name was also known as a Hebrew masculine demon. And I don't know anything about
Beetlejuice.
I don't do any stop. No, I'm not playing. I don't do anything with trying to summon anything. I don't know anything about demonology. I don't look into that stuff. I really don't. But after he had told us his name, we went and we looked up information about what that means, and it meant a masculine Hebrew demon. And Kirsten and I don't have that kind of knowledge. We don't. I mean, seriously, that's really weird how his name, that when he said it, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We look it up and that's what it means. We didn't just pull that out of our asses.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, sorry for being so, but.
So what?
On edge about it.
That's alright.
Ugh.
I'll lighten the mood with my
Please
last minute
do.
plea.
Talk about your last minute plea.
I mean, things like this could potentially happen. I don't know. Maybe one day you will be being chased by a serial killer or haunted by a spirit, as you're talking about. But what I want to do is I want to plead to you guys to not do the stupid things that people do in horror movies that cause them to get killed. I can think of numerous things.
Do it. I want to hear what you're talking about.
First thing, why does everyone feel the need to go, oh, you two take that path, us three will take this path, and we'll send Rick down there? Stay the fuck together. Numbers means you can outpower one.
There's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't separate, then you get picked off, you idiot.
Valid point. Very valid
This
point.
is another one that fucking drives me nuts.
Okay.
Why do you run upstairs when the killer enters your home?
That's so stupid.
Don't fucking run upstairs. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna hide in the closet? He'll check all the closets. Your ass is getting stabbed. Seriously, give me a break.
That is a very, 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 very valid point.
Okay. You see this in monster movies all the time. You got a 50-foot fucking monster, and you're trying to run away from it. You're trying to outrun the motherfucker. You can't outrun something 500 times bigger than you. That's when you hide, because you're little. You're little. Don't get yourself squashed because you think you can outrun this big motherfucker. You can't. Now, this one's a little different because I know it is based on how the spirit is attached. But when you know a house specifically is haunted, get the fuck out. Leave. Don't set up cameras and be like, oh, something weird's going on. Get the fuck out of there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean, come on.
What if you're, like, trying to go on a haunt?
No. Okay.
No, he just goes, no.
You're just trying to screw yourself even more. Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
You're being chased by the killer. He's nowhere near. You seem to have outrun him. You hop in your car. You don't look in the back seat. He reaches up and cuts your fucking head off. Check the back seat. All you gotta do is pop the mirror down a little bit, look over your shoulder, make sure there's no big-ass mass motherfucker laying in the floorboard of your back seat. Just check it. It's real simple. Start the car, get the fuck out of there. Also, on a side note, you should really make sure your car is in running condition, especially if you know you're going somewhere there might be some kind of monster, some kind of killer. If you're going to the camp for the summer and you're taking your car out there, make sure the bitch will start. Because you don't want to be sitting there trying to start your damn car.
But there's a killer on the loose.
Yeah, when someone's got a machete to your throat. It's not good.
Oh my gosh.
And I would say I'll save this one for last because this is the one that drives me the most crazy. But here's one that's in relation to water. If you know something's crazy going on in that lake, quit going in there. It's not the best time to skinny dip. If you've had a couple of friends that died, stay the fuck out of the lake. There's probably something in there that's going to eat you.
Or like in Until Dawn, why would they go back the year after?
Yeah, you're being set up. What's wrong with you? You're going to the scene of a crime where you're going to be killed again. Or you're going to be the next one killed.
You're just asking for fucking trouble.
No joke.
I could see why that would be your last minute plea. That's a really, really good last minute plea. Don't be stupid. Watch a whole bunch of horror movies, and whatever they do the opposite.
Here's a good one.
Okay.
When a kid sees something, don't fucking ignore it.
I agree with that. People don't give children enough fucking credit.
If they say, Mommy, there's a boogeyman in my closet, then it's probably me because I'm in your closet recording a podcast. But anyway, besides me, there's also a chance there's a boogeyman in this closet. Go check it out.
Yeah.
What's it gonna hurt you?
The kid may not know what he's seeing. It could be that he's seeing something, supernatural like, or it could be, a human threat, someone who snuck into the house. Fuck, trust your kids, man. I mean, yeah, I know, like, kids have wild imaginations, but I agree with you on that one. I really do. Give kids more credit.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways.
This one is just dumb.
Okay.
When you have the villain, the killer, the slasher coming at you, and you fires your last couple of rounds in the gun that you have. Why the fuck do you take the time to throw the empty gun at him? Turn around and run, motherfucker.
You don't have time for that shit. You just need to get up and fucking go.
Why are you throwing an empty gun at him? What is that gonna do? Especially if you just buried 6 bullets in his chest. It's gonna do you no damn good. So don't throw the gun. Maybe you should keep it. You might find some ammo later. Or haul the fuck ass. Get out of there. And then, of course, the one that I'm saving for last is the biggest cliche of 80s and 90s horror movies.
Okay.
If you've had friends die near you, or there's some ominous feeling around, or you're at a camp that seems that it's a little creepy, don't have fucking sex.
Yes!
Keep the boning to a minimum.
Keep the boning out of the equation if you're feeling creepy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be being fucked if I'm creeped out.
That leaves you so fucking vulnerable. That anybody can walk up and just cut your throat.
And usually that is how we wind up with 80s and 90s Bush in the first place.
Well, no joke. So that's the way they push it into the movie. But I'm speaking of, don't leave yourself in a prone position. Your ass is naked and he can stab you anywhere. And we just recently watched American Horror Story Hotel, and it's proven that you might be fucking the person that's gonna kill you.
Oh yeah, that's fucking true.
So if you're in a creepy place, don't fuck. Easy peasy. Leave it alone.
I mean, that is really smart.
And if you just can't handle it, go up to the fucking bathroom and rub one out or something.
And rub one out.
I don't know. Maybe he'll get you there too. Hey, that's a new horror scene. I'm sure it's probably happened. Someone getting killed while they're rubbing one out.
I'm sure that sounds about right. And if not, it sounds like a cheesy porno.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
So anyway, that's my last minute plea this week. If you find yourself in one of these horror movie-like situations, don't be a typical victim.
Be smart.
You're not going to make it to the end if you do some of these things. Take my advice. I am a connoisseur of horror movies, and I see these people do these things over and over, put a stop to it. Hashtag no more horror movie stupidity. Stop it. No more horror movie stupidity. What do you say?
So, yeah, I think that's a really good thing to plea with. I really do. You know, especially with these zombie attacks, you have no idea what's going to happen. This world is fucking crazy.
It totally is.
So just because it's happening in a horror movie, don't think, oh, well, no, this isn't going to happen in real life. You don't know. Okay, like the horror movie The Strangers, that
very
movie's
possible.
scary because, yeah, it's very possible.
Or recently that was similar to that was You're Next.
Have I seen did we watch Your Next?
Yeah, remember the family they're having like a reunion, and these people in these different animal masks are like shooting through the windows with bows and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so that's my last minute plea. That actually takes us to the very end of the show.
It just feels weird because we've done it in 2 segments. So
2 episodes actually.
Or 2 episodes.
We actually made these people wait a whole another week for the segment, so I hope you guys liked it. We put some work into making it Halloween themed, and I think we're going to do this traditionally. I don't know if we'll do other holidays or not. We might do something Christmas related or Thanksgiving related.
Yeah, but just a pre-warning. I mean, we don't really need to go into it too much now, but you're going to have to bear with us if we're late around the holidays. I mean, we're all about our podcast.
Oh, they'll be opening new toys to keep them busy. They won't be, people be playing Fallout 4 and shit. They're not going to be bothered by missing, or getting...
I mean, could you guys forgive us if we went on a small little hiatus just for the holidays? Could you find it in your hearts?
I don't know. We might not. I might.
See, no, this was a Halloween episode, and now we're talking about Christmas. It's kind of like when I woke up to that fucking Christmas commercial. Let's stop talking about it.
American marketing is getting to you. It's haunting you.
Oh, God.
It has gotten into our closet. Now
yeah,
what will we do?
We ignore it.
Do you hear the tornado?
No, stop, Scott. Oh, my God.
Anyway, guys, before we close things out, we definitely need to give you our social media madness.
Which, by the way, I think we've decided that we're eventually going to do a little bumper, so it'll sound the same every single time, and we won't get off on little wild goose chases like we do normally.
Yeah, and for you regular listeners that don't need to hear that over and over, that's the reason I put it at the end of the episode, because as a listener, I don't really like when a show's opened with that stuff, because then you're forced to listen to it. If it's at the end, you can just stop listening to the episode. Only those who need to hear it and need to be able to find the show or find more information about the show will need it. So it should be at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're looking for us on Twitter, our Twitter is @2closetmonsters. That's the number 2 closet monsters. And my personal Twitter my personal Twitter is @ScottTopic. SCOTTOPIC. No, anyway, it's @ScottTopic. SCOTTOPIC. How about yours?
My personal Twitter is @glittergasm. That is GLITTERGAAAASM. That is 4 A's. Glittergasm.
Yeah. Then, if you want to find our little group, it's our little family on Facebook. It's just getting started. We don't have a whole lot of posts or anything, but we're hoping to get more posts.
Don't go there expecting to find a hot date or some shit.
No, definitely not. But if you want to talk to other listeners and you want to be the first person to post something cool on our group, check us out on Facebook. Just search for Podcast in the Closet Hour. And if you want to find our YouTube videos, you can do the same thing. Go to their search and search for Podcast in the Closet Hour. And you'll be able to see our little segment visuals as you listen to the episode on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, too, because we don't have a whole lot of subscribers, but I know a lot of people watch it. A lot of people listen to our episodes by the YouTube video. So if you're going to do that, make sure you subscribe to us so we know who you are.
What about our email address, babe?
Oh, of course. Our email address is theclosetdwellers@gmail.com. So if you want to email us, give us some feedback. We've been recently we've been receiving more feedback, and we're loving it. It's
Yes,
great.
thank you.
It's nice to hear. A recent compliment we got was that our show can it's got a good feel with us going from serious to funny to serious to funny back and forth. Maybe that just means we are
Just
crazy.
means you're bipolar.
Yeah, we're a crazy train wreck. We don't know what fucking track we're on.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
never do it. And you guys probably already know that by now. I mean, this is episode 10, so you probably know a little bit about us. But anyway, so that was our email.
Website is podcastintheclosethour.com.
Or closetpodcast.com for a shorter address.
Yes.
And there you can find all that other information. You can find photos of us. That's actually our Instagram. If you want to just follow us on Instagram, it's at 2 Monsters in the Closet, and that's the number 2. But yeah, the main thing is hit up podcastintheclosethour.com. Check out all of our old episodes. Check out the episode we're putting out now. Add us, follow us, all that good stuff. Tweet us. Just let us know you're listening. We want to know we grow listeners every week. We're growing again. We gained some more today. So no worries. Maybe it's because it's less sound effects. I don't know.
Oh, shut up.
But anyway.
My sound effects are fucking awesome. Anyways.
Anyway, so just make sure you go in there and check out the website. But as for this show, we're going to close it out, and we're going to get out of the closet, you're going to go to work, actually, I would imagine.
Yeah, here in a little bit. I'm cramping. I need to take some more medicine.
Okay, so we might watch an episode or 2 of Last Man on Earth. We'll talk about that next week. So look forward to a little review about Last Man on Earth and my excitement with WWE 2K16, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye!
Bye! Oh yeah, I forgot to hit the outro. Bye.